What's up? I'm on Vindictus. All that good stuff. My day's going pretty good. Hopefully yours is. You can always leave a comment on that if you wish. Many times, when it is that you try to be successful, there are things that distract you from being successful. You must stay for what it is that is your lane. Put on your blinders so you do not see the other lane. For many amongst few, even one, maybe you, get distracted by for what it is that is within view. But what happens if it is your laser focused to where you do not see for what is everyone's motion, only your own? Put on the blinders and pay attention to your own. Not the one next to you, not the one that insults you. Put on your blinders and you will see for where it is that your focus should be. Do you wish to understand what I mean? That term comes from something specific. Many times as horses and other animals are being trained to do for what it is that they are trained. Because of the fact of all the other motion and noises and other things. They put blinders to where only forward can they see. To where all of a sudden they do not worry about the meaningless, only for what is their task that is not meaningless. At that point, once they have learned such, no longer do they even need such things, for they are focused on for what it is that should be their things. So do you pay attention to others that you should not? Maybe you need to put on your blinders in this spot and stay amongst your lane. Do for what it is you do from day to day. Looking forward, not behind or to the side. Only seeing your forward movement in between your line. To do any other, you get distracted. Be no different than a horse that gets distracted. Many times, you know those ones that do prancing and other things? You realize how they trained them to do that? Or plowing and other things, so that they pay attention for what it is they need to amongst their things, and nothing else. Maybe you need to put on your blinders and focus on nothing else. Cut out the useless noise and distraction. Stay in your lane without distraction. Unless it is something maybe you could learn to make it to where you're more smooth and fluid as it is you need to learn. But anything that doesn't help, why would you pay attention to something that does not help? Even your critics. Unless it is constructive amongst for what it is that is your critics. No matter what that might be. Do you put on your blinders and focus on what you should see instead of for what it is you should not? Do you have many distractions and cannot stay in your lane? You wish to know something interesting about such. What happens if a runner of a race gets out of their lane? Do you realize they get disqualified in that place? What happens if you can only see your lane and your target? Nothing else. Just for where you need to be and your target. If you see nothing else, you cannot miss. If you pay attention to nothing else, you cannot miss. For you have a laser focus. In fact, so much you do not even pay attention to limitations that are shown by for what another says that you have not grown. So much so, before you know it, you are the leader of the pack, and you don't even know it. Because of the fact that you do not pay attention to things that you should not. You become the best of the best, believe it or not. Because for what they declare is your weakness, now you are the head of the pack because you have limited for what is your sight and weakness. Only for what it is you wish to achieve. Put your blinders on and see what you can achieve. For if you see everything else, how can you know what you can accomplish if you see everything else? Impossible things can be achieved if it is that you only look for what it is you can achieve. Not for what another says, not for what another does, only for what it is. That is the mountain that stands before you. That is the only thing you see. You get past for what stands before you. Put your blinders on and move forward. Do not even pay attention to others that do not move forward, nor for what is their naysaying, for they are ones that are not knowledgeable. For they do not even know what their lane is, and it's very unknowledgeable. But if it were, they were to put their blinders on as well, they would see that they're not even in their own lane. But what happens if you put it on before they do, and know for what is your lane? Nothing after that, for you will be the same. Then, when you look back, when it's finally you take them off, you'd be surprised on how far you get when you take them off. So put on your blinders. Stay in your lane. And pay attention to nothing but for what it is. That is your lane. You'd be surprised upon where you would be. What progress and other things. Only thing you would not blind yourself to, for what is the leaders of the pack, of what is the example of what it is you wish to be. Then, at that point, things they do behind closed doors, would it be that you would see? Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So, until next time.